Be famous. Oh, I think we're going. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mad Mama Jamma. It is 10 till 3 a.m. where I'm at. And my co host, as you can see, has us up working late. Yeah, it's one of our things. We don't go to bed till the sun comes up. Guess he's not giving in till he gets enough. We're talking today about breastfeeding. Well, not breastfeeding specifically, um, more of, you know, milk production and latching issues with preemies, babies who've spent time in the NICU, or that were maybe just a little bit small for birth weight and had to stay in the hospital, and they had to give a bottle to see how much the infant was taking in. Um, and I'm actually doing this for a lady who bought some of my lactation cookies and lactation brownies. And at the end of the video, I will link, um, I will give you the page names for my Facebook. And if you guys want to order some. Uh, and so I just want to jump right in. Um, Obviously, breastfeeding is the most natural way to feed your baby. It is not the only way, and some people, no matter how much they try, they cannot produce enough, um, or it's just babies and moms. They the latching doesn't work, so instead, some mothers choose to pump exclusively, just to give their baby the the antibodies that come in breast milk, uh, and that's okay. The only problem that almost every mother finds when pumping exclusively is that the milk production starts to slow down after the first 6 weeks. Because the first 6 weeks after you have your baby, your placenta has detached from your uterine wall, which triggers the hormones to start producing milk. You have colostrum for the first couple days, and then by day 3 or 4, your milk comes in. And the way to sustain that milk is baby saliva on the nipples. Believe it or not, the saliva on the nipple triggers your immune response. So if baby's starting to get a cold, it will automatically produce milk to try to help with that. That has specific antibodies to fight that cold. Um, if you're a vaccinating parent and you're breastfeeding, you can always tell. Uh, if you pump before your child gets the vaccine, it'll be a certain color, and then after the child gets the vaccine, within a couple days, if you hold it up to the milk that you pumped prior to the vaccine, you will see that the new milk almost has kind of a bluish tint, or sometimes even a greenish tint. And what that is your body is making antibodies to fight the bacteria or virus that was just injected into your baby. Because even though it's a dead virus, or supposed to be, I'm not going to go into that right now. Uh, it's in your child's body, and your breast milk says, "Hey, this is my job. I've got to help build baby's immune system to fight this." And so the color will change, and it's really amazing. Breasts are amazing. So, but to get that production, you need stimulation of the breast, which normally comes from the baby sucking. But when you're pumping, um, you might you could be pumping for 30, 45 minutes and get maybe 4 or 5 drops out of a breast, whereas your baby can eat in 5 minutes and all of a sudden he's done, and you're thinking, wait a minute, I pumped for 45 minutes and I only got 5 drops, so he can't be getting that much. And that's not true. Babies are born to take and empty your breast as quickly as possible. They are pros. And as your breastfeeding journey grows, and I've noticed this, I have 10 children. 7 of them were breastfed. This little guy here is my champion. He's 8 months, and we've made it the whole 8 months, surprisingly. And he has no plans to stop anytime soon, it seems like. But stimulation from the pump is okay. It's a way to trick your breasts into providing milk. But when you exclusively pump and baby's not at the breast and his saliva's not, on your nipples, the body knows. The body knows. Um, so you kind of have to do some other things to keep your milk supply up if you cannot get baby to latch at all. Um, Galactologs. There's a couple of them. They 2 of them are medicines. One is Reglan, which is normally given for nausea, but your obstetrician and even pediatrician can write you a prescription for Reglan. And you start out with a small dose, and you gradually increase it over like 5 to 10 days, and then you gradually decrease it over the next few days. So I mean, that's how it does, and it helps. I used it, and it made me extremely drowsy. I had very bad reactions to it where I would almost go into like a narcoleptic sleep. I'd be sitting there wide awake talking and then be like the next minute. So Reglan didn't work for me. And then later on, it started causing heart palpitations when I would get it IV, when I had my migraines. Are you going to tell him? You tell him about breastfeeding? Are you telling him that you love boobies? Yeah, him love boobies. And then there's something called domperidone. And domperidone is not regularly prescribed in the United States for breastfeeding mothers because it has shown in IV form to cause heart issues. But those heart issues only happen in IV medication of the domperidone. So it is something to ask your OBGYN about if you do not have any type of heart issues, no murmurs, anything like that. You have to be heart healthy before they would even, think about it. And it definitely wouldn't come in IV form. And then you have your natural galactologs. You'll have heard of fenugreek. It smells like maple syrup. If you take like 3 capsules 4 times a day, and by day 3 of doing that, your armpits smell like pancakes. And after about a week, you feel sick as all outdoors from the sickly sweet maple syrup smell coming from your body. But if it's producing your milk, everything has a trade-off, right? I mean, your baby's getting milk. So, I mean, the trade-off is that you smell like walking pancakes. Now, there's something about fenugreek that you need to know. As I said, I've had 10 children, and I breastfed 7 of them. Now, I found fenugreek worked with 3 of them. With the other 3, I've never used it with him. With the other 3, it actually dried me up quicker. So be very careful if you're going to try fenugreek, because for some, it's like any other type of medicine or herb. Everybody's body reacts differently to what you put in your body. One person can take Benadryl and not make them sleepy, but another person, it'll knock them out. By the way, do not take Benadryl while breastfeeding. It will dry you up. So with the fenugreek, it's kind of hit or miss. And also, some babies, it causes extreme stomach upset. So, you got to weigh your options there. And then you have, natural things like nuts, almonds, the protein in it. It helps make a healthier milk. It can also help increase supply. Uh, Steel cut oats, oatmeal. Eat oatmeal. Steel cut oats, oatmeal helps a lot. Um, Even oatmeal cookies. If you don't want to do the lactation cookies. Now there's some out there, Milky Mamas. I'm not too crazy about them. They did not increase my breast milk supply, um, the way the reviews said they did. And it was $15 for a bag of 12. I I saw a bag or a dozen cookies um, that have more of the galactolog stuff in it. Uh, a dozen of them for $8, um, and that's without shipping if I have to ship them. Uh, but I eat one cookie and then I have a brownie, and I eat a 2x2 square. I've actually had to cut that down because when I eat the cookie and I eat the brownie, um, within a few hours, my milk is out of control. Um, he ends up sputtering and spitting because it's coming out too fast, and we just make a mess. So I've been like eating half a cookie and half a brownie, um, just to make sure, because as he is 8 months old, I want to make sure that I got to start pumping again to get milk saved up to put in his cup when it's time to wean. Because breastfeeding does have benefits past a year. I know a lot of people are like, oh no, don't let him nurse after a year. That's gross. It's not. It's natural. And the World Health Organization, I mean, if you go on their site and search breastfeeding benefits, there's a lot of benefits to breastfeeding past the age of 1. Um, so, like I said, steel cut oats, not the quick 1 minute ones. It says steel cut on the thing, or actually, the off-brand says old-fashioned oats. Um, those. Eat oatmeal every day. Then you have uh, flaxseed meal, and you can get that at Walmart. You can order online at Amazon for about, I think it's 16 ounces is $7 on Amazon or something. I don't know. You uh, add like two tablespoons of that in with your smoothie milk mix. Um, and I use the flaxseed meal, and I also use chia seed. And on another video, I will uh, show how to prepare that, um, the chia seed. But if you Google chia seeds, they've got so much antioxidants, and it increases the milk fat, in the fat amount of fat in your milk. Um, so, uh, and then now everybody to each their own. But I have talked to and worked with a lot of lactation consultants and nurses. A can of beer, a can of beer can increase your breast milk because of the yeast that's in it, the hops, whatever. Um, I know moms who drink a beer a day to keep their increase. They don't drink it at night. They drink it like midday, when baby was already up and won't be going back to sleep. Um, and I've talked to doctors, and they said that as long as it's just one beer or a glass of wine, if you are not too drunk to drive, then you are not too drunk to feed your baby, because of the way it passes through your breast milk and bloodstream. So that's to each your own. Now, brewer's yeast is disgusting. It smells like beer, and it tastes even worse. So if you use brewer's yeast, do not try to eat that plain. You will never get that taste out of your mouth. It's horrible. Um, but about a tablespoon of that a day, mixed in something. that can cover the taste. Um, it's natural. It'll help increase your milk supply. The brand I use, I believe, is called Now, Now, and it's partly debittered. It's still bitter as hell, but it's less bitter than other brands. And all the reviews I've read on it said it was the best one for increasing milk supply. So I went ahead and got it, and again, I put it in my uh, milk concoctions, and I've been definitely getting a lot more milk. So there's natural things out there that doesn't, you know, require a prescription, and it can help boost your milk supply while you're trying to exclusively pump or just even breastfeed. It doesn't matter. There's just natural stuff out there. Um, it's just, and another thing is, if you've heard of the Body Armor drink? Some moms say the Body Armor Light drinks works better than the regular Body Armor drinks. I drink the Fruit Punch Body Armor. Seems to be doing good. And of course, as always, you want to get at least 64 ounces of water into your body um, a day when exclusively pumping. Now, if the issue is latching because the baby was in NICU and had to be syringe fed or bottle fed, um, it makes it a little bit harder. And the more you try, you probably get frustrated each time you fail. And you're not failing. It's just some babies and moms can do it, and get over that hump. Now, a lot of people tell you not to give them sugar. And I'm not saying drop a spoonful of sugar in their mouth, but take 3 tablespoons of water, start it on the stove, get it to where it's softly boiling, and add sugar until it will no longer dissolve. Um, so then let it cool, pull it up in a syringe, rub some on the nipple that you want to latch on, take that syringe, put put your baby in place. You're going to feed him. The sugar's on your nipples. Oh, look, he's all right. Oh, it's me. Put, put the drop on his top lip. Then take your nipple and rub from the top lip or from the nose down. And when he opens, bring his head up. And so that way you can taste it. Now, if he pulls off after sucking the sugar off, take that syringe, put him back by the boob, hit that plunger, and then get him to suckle again. And eventually, okay, he really wants to eat. Excuse me. Um, Eventually, he'll do it. Now, there's a delivery system that you can use, and I don't know what it's called, but it's like a rig. I've seen moms use it in the NICU. I'm a 4-time NICU mom graduate, uh, and basically, it's you put the milk in a syringe without the stopper thingy, and then you hook a tube to it, and you tape it down by the nipple. Um, and then as babies, you just kind of push the milk slowly through, let it drip, and then baby practices nursing on you. So he's getting the milk as fast as he would with a bottle or a syringe, but he's working on the latch, and that it takes time. But if you really work at it, there's a really good chance of success. There really is. Um, he had a lip tie when he was born. We could not get a good deep latch. Um, so I knew immediately that one, by not getting a good latch, I was going to end up having milk issues if I didn't do something right off the bat. So I started on the galactologs by the time he was 1 week old. Um, I was pumping after every one of his feedings, And I would let him latch any way that he could latch, even though it was a bad latch and it was hurting me and it caused cracks and sores and bleeding. But for, you know, he was still he was still practicing the latch, even though it wasn't deep. And it was painful for me, and I don't think it was painful for him. He didn't seem to mind. So, and then I would pump afterwards to get all the milk that would be up here down. Um, because without a deep latch, you can't really empty the breast very well. And then Dad would give him the bottle after that, after I pumped it, if need be. Uh, and then I would work with them. The lactation consultant that was there when I delivered, you know how you do the tissue whooshies, the tissue whooshies, tissue with your baby that they don't like and they automatically pull away. Well, by doing that, not hard, but firm but gentle, do that throughout the day, tissue, and they'll pull away, but it'll stretch that frenulum that keeps the tie. Now, some babies, it's just so bad that they do have to have it clipped. Um, and sometimes it can take weeks to get in. And that's why there's a latching issue, because in the meantime, you're using syringes or bottles. So, even if it's a bad latch and it's going to hurt you, try that, if you're willing to put up with the pain. And then once that's fixed, the baby will get a deeper latch. And it took him till he was 3 months old to get a real good solid latch. So, and now we just do our own thing, don't we, buddy? Yeah, we sure do. Uh, I feel like I'm never gonna get him off my boob, but it's what's best for him. So, but that's what we want to talk about. I will do a private video later on how to hand express, um, because hand expression will help actually increase your milk supply. Believe it or not, it's time consuming, but it's worth it. Now, just as a reminder, the first 6 weeks after you have a baby, your milk is adjusting. So by using the pump, by hand expressing, and by using galactologs, uh, you could give yourself an oversupply, which is okay. Oh, Daddy's here, so she's wanting to play with Daddy. Um, so be prepared for that, but hey, just store it. Also, Haka. Get a Haka, or search on Amazon a silicone manual pump, and it'll come up. Haka will come up along with some generic ones, and the generic ones work just fine. As long as they're silicone, make sure they're silicone washable. But that's where I'm going to stop right now, because uh, Dad and baby's doing nighttime ritual, and it's also 3:15 in the morning. But if you want to recap these videos, go to Facebook and put in the search for Mad Mama Jamma. Join our group. You can recap on these videos. You can also order the lactation brownies and the lactation cookies. I also do custom charm jewelry on my Vision of Love page, and I will see somehow if I can get the link in the bottom of this. Also, today is August 20th of 2020. My younger sister turned my younger sister turned 32 years old today, and I want to say happy birthday, Aisha. And if anybody's interested in some Scentsy, she does Scentsy's, and I will also link her page for that in here. And she also works in a beauty supply store for those of you who like to do hair, nails, and stuff. And I will see you next time. Thanks.